Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Barakatah.
Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatam.
So what we doing right now, we just getting everything started. Salakia for the late start on YouTube. Make sure y'all call in to the conference call. And we waiting on another brother to join. And then as soon as we get that, we good to go, man. But this lesson today is called Major Keys in Unlocking the Bible. So we're just going to be dealing with, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we're going to be dealing with breaking down the Bible, man, looking at the words of Hamashiach Yahushua, some other parables. And the intention is if we can understand some of the keys that he put in those parables, it opens up a lot of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention he tells a lot of the Bible in a little bit of time through a parable. Okay? So we're going to get started shortly.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom. Shalom. Okay. There you go.
Hey, shalom. Yabashin Shabbaton.
Hey, so look, this is how we're gonna do it. While we teaching, make sure y'all got your phones muted in the background. And we should be straight. I got my phone live, and hopefully y'all can hear it on the live video as well. Okay. If we have any questions or any precepts from the conference call, then I'll just make sure to read them. You know, we'll get a brother to read them on the camera, man, so that everybody can hear it. All right, Khan. So, hey, once again, man, we're going through these. We're just trying to get a little bit of milk and a little bit of meat today. Nothing too crazy. One thing I do want to say is we're a Bible school, so make sure you got your Bible, your Apocrypha. You want to have a pen, a pad, whatever you might need. I'm not going to go into the Hebrew too much, so we probably won't need your Strongs if you got it. But yeah, we're going to do it like that, man. We're going to keep it real smooth. Oh, yeah, I wanted to do one last thing, man. I got a little plug right here, right? So I got some books, man, in the background y'all brothers need to be familiar with. This right here is from Elder Zaquan from the Masharai Yasharallah. That's his book. We got Hebrew Isms of West Africa. That's a beautiful one.
I don't got that one. I need to get that.
Hey, I know you got the collection. Look at that one.
Wow.
So that's going into the Christian apologetics, topic by topic. So that way we'll know how to deal with them boys when they come through with that. Same thing, like a part 2 of the same book. This one's called Readings in Christian Thought by a dude named Hugh Kerr. And once again, this is a beautiful book too, because you can go into the history of what people thought throughout the ages. So, I got a couple more back here in the back, but we'll deal with those, as the time comes, if anybody has any questions. So, hey, I want to start off in the book of Mark, man. Mark chapter 12. And we'll start at verse 1. And like I said, I like doing this, man. I like going through the parables because you get a whole lot of things at one time. And then he telling the whole story in a little bit of time. So I like to start with that. Hold up. All right, Khan. So whoever got Mark 12:1, we can go ahead and hit the first verse.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 12 and verse 1. And he began to speak unto them by parables. A certain man planted a vineyard and set a hedge about it and digged a place for the wine fat and built a tower and let it out to husbandmen and went into a far country.
All right. So look, Hamashiach Yahushua telling you what the whole Bible is about right here. He said a certain man planted a vineyard, right? Now, this parable of the vineyard is used throughout the Bible multiple times, man. I know a lot of people probably familiar with it. I'm gonna pull Isaiah 5 real quick. Hatamai, if you can get Isaiah 5 and 1 real quick, and just as a brief example of how the Most High deals with that vineyard, man.
Con, you ready?
Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 1. Now will I sing to my well-beloved, a song of my beloved touching his vineyard. My well-beloved has a vineyard in a very fruitful hill.
Okay, so same thing Hamashiach Yahushua said. A man had a vineyard, right? And he went off into a far country. Keep reading.
Verse 2. And he fenced it, and gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choice vines, and built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a winepress therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes.
We can hit verse 3 as well.
And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard.
Okay, so now we understand who the vineyard represents. Okay, so when Hamashiach tells you that there was a man who planted a vineyard and went off into a far country, that man is the Most High. All right, and the vineyard is the nation of Israel, man. What do you plant a vineyard for? You plant a vineyard so you can get some fruit. You know, you want to enjoy the increase of your labor, man. That's right. All right, Khan, let's go back to let's hit verse 2 in Mark.
And this is Mark chapter 12, verse 2. And at the season he sent to the husbandman a servant, that he might receive from the husbandman of the fruit of the vineyard.
That's right. Khan. So now you got a picture of the Most High setting up that vineyard. Okay. And matter of fact, I got one more precept I want to get to help drive that home about that vineyard, man. Let's get Exodus 19 and 5. All right.
You said Exodus what?
19 and 5. Because I want to make sure to drive it home. You know, the example of the vineyard, you can hit 5 and 6, matter of fact.
Exodus chapter 19, verse 5. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then shall ye be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. Okay,
so let's stop right there real quick. So the Most High said, look, if you do what I ask you to do, man, you're going to be a peculiar people, right? You're going to be a special people. Now, we got to understand what that represents, because I think sometimes we can take it, make it mean something else, right? Yahushua said that a man built a vineyard, right? So if you build a vineyard, you got your own special place where you can go look for your fruit. That's what the Most High is doing with Israel. He got a special place where he go when he need a grape, he come to Israel. You know what I'm saying? When he need a damn apple or something like that, he go to his field, because he know that he got good seed out there. You know, it's watered well, all of that, man.
That's right.
Okay. If y'all got any comments or precepts or anything, you good.
Hey, Shalaki.
I
was gonna say it's funny that he said vineyard with grapes, because grapes grow in clusters.
That's right.
We know that the nation of Israel is a lot of people, but we one body. We one cluster of grapes, but we many people. You see what I'm saying?
That's a good point. And then sometimes you got a cluster over here, but you might have another cluster over there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's right. Okay. Hit verse 6 as well.
Verse 6. Exodus 19 and 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
So that kingdom of priests and that holy nation, once again, that's dealing with the fruit that you are to bear. You know what I'm saying? This is why when Hamashiach Yahushua came to the fig tree. So like I said, we're doing a little bit of milk and meat at the same time. But when Hamashiach Yahushua came to the fig tree, what did he do? he saw it wasn't bearing fruit, so he cursed it.
Con.
So we gotta make sure that we bearing that fruit, man.
That's right.
Con. All right, we can hit. So let's hit verse 2 again in Mark.
Con, this is the book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 2. At that season, he sent to the husbandman a servant, that he might receive from the husbandman of the fruit of the vineyard.
Okay, so now we need to understand what the fruit represents. You know what I'm saying? How do we know what the fruit are, other than saying it's a good thing, you know, you're doing good things. Okay, well, what are these good things?
Right.
All right, so let's get Luke chapter 6 and verse 43. Okay, and then Yahweh, you can grab Jeremiah 6 and 16.
Con.
You said Luke 6 and 43?
Yeah, con.
God, I got you, other one. This is the book of Luke, chapter 6 and verse 43. For a good tree bringeth not forth corrupt fruit, neither do a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit.
That's right. Con, keep reading. You can go through 45.
Con. For every tree is known by his own fruit. For of thorns men do not gather figs, nor of a bramble bush gather they grapes. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh.
Right. That's right. So you see there that your fruit is representative of your works, man.
Con.
So there's no way around it. So like now we can't even have the conversation of putting works against faith. We can't even have that conversation now because we understand that the fruit itself is your works. And that's the words of Mashiach Yahushua. Right?
Hey, that's
Go ahead.
That's just like the old saying, like, you know a person by the people that they hang around.
That's right.
So if you are a good person, you can't have corrupt friends. You're not supposed to if you righteous. All your friends supposed to bear the same type of fruits that you do. All of y'all supposed to be righteous or walking in righteousness.
That's right, man. That's right. Matter of fact, I got a precept to back that up. Psalms 1:1. It says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. So that's word for word what you're saying right there. Like the company you keep becomes what you are. And it's hard to understand it, but on the spiritual level, let's deal with the fruit in the vineyard again, right? You a vine, or you know, you're an apple tree or whatever. If you have polluted soil around you, then you're gonna be putting forth nasty fruit, man. Your stomach gonna be hurting. What Mos Def said. He said, Mos Def said this in the song. He was like, the shiny apple is sweet, and if you choose to eat, you'll bruise your teeth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. The shiny apple is sweet, but if you choose to eat it, it's gonna destroy you, man.
Con.
And that's what hanging around these wicked niggas, like some of these wicked niggas is like, man.
That's right.
What?
Hey, I was gonna say what make an apple shiny is the wax. You know, so underneath the wax is dull. They tell you that the apple not sweet. They gotta put wax on it.
That's right. And the wax bad for you.
God.
So you eat that damn wax if you want to, man.
Right.
All right, Con. So you got Jeremiah 6.
Con, this book of Jeremiah, chapter 6 and verse 16. Thus saith Yahweh, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way? And walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein.
That's right. That's right. I think I brought that precept one verse too early, but it's good. See, look, so this is the Most High begging his people, man. As we're going to see in the next verses in Mark, we're going to see the Most High is sending out those tenants into his field to go gather his fruit, man. And it's a lot of things you can extract from this story. And so as we get through it, you're going to start seeing some of the things that Hamashiach Yahushua embedded in this story, man. So for anybody to sit back and say that the Old Testament or the laws are done away with, you don't understand what the fruit represents.
Right.
Because as we're going to see, Khan, go ahead. Somebody said Salaki on the call.
No, my bad. I ain't mean to cut you off.
All right, yeah, let me finish this thought. I'll bring you in. So, but what we're going to see is the man who owns the vineyard, right? He sends a person to the field and says, hey, go gather my fruit, right? First person gets beaten and dealt with shamefully. He sends somebody else. But do he send that next person for something new? No, he sent them for fruit. The same thing the first man came for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So why we in the New Testament talking about the Most High wants something new than what the old prophets was asking for? They was always asking for you to keep the law, man. Khan, go ahead, Op.
Now I just had a quick precept. It was Romans chapter 7 and verse 12. I don't know. Hold on. If you already had it, then I'll hold up on.
Nah, I don't got that. You good.
It's the book of Romans chapter 7 and verse 12. It says, wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just, and good. So it's following up on with those good things, what is we talking about in Jeremiah 16.
Khan. That's right, man. That's right. Hey, y'all put a 7 in the chat, man, if that was clear. I want to make sure y'all can hear the brother on the phone. If not, then I'll read his precepts next time. All right. We can go back to Mark 12 and 3 now.
Con. So this is the book of Mark, chapter 12 and verse 3. And they caught him and beat him and sent him away empty.
Hey, that's right, man. How many times we go out on the corner on Saturdays? We teaching. You got a brother who only came out there to fight.
Con.
There's one brother who show up in 5 points. He only want to fight. The brother don't want to deal at all, man. Like that. So for them, they don't even understand they're fulfilling prophecy by doing that. They don't even understand it. But they're on the wrong side of prophecy. I'm gonna pull Jeremiah 38 and 6 real quick because I got this is a real world example, man, within the scriptures of this happening. Jeremiah 38 and 6. I definitely encourage y'all to read the whole book of Jeremiah because it's more than just prophecies. It's also dealing with his personal things that he went through. All right. Then took they Jeremiah and cast him into the dungeon of Malchiah, the son of Hamelech, that was in the court of the prison. And they let down Jeremiah with cords. And in the dungeon, there was no water, but mire. So Jeremiah sunk in the mire. Okay. Good question. Young man asked, what's mire? So mire is like, let's think about it. You got like a pit or you got a dungeon or underground area, right? Mm-hmm. Now, they probably didn't have cement, right? So at the bottom, it was probably like clay or dirt or whatever was down there. And then as the moisture starts getting in there, what does that dirt or that clay turn into? Like dirt and water turns into what? Mud. Okay, so it's muddy, it's nasty down there. Maybe even, it might even be some animal feces down there. Like you just don't know what they put down there. But they got that man Jeremiah down there, and the only thing he's trying to do is bring the words of the Most High, man. So think about that. That's what you got to look forward to, for real. If you're looking forward for anything else, like if you're looking forward to standing out on the corner and the whole city just want to repent, like they did with Jonah, you can go ahead and give that up. Most likely, that's not going to happen. Most likely, you will be persecuted. Brothers is going to beat you up. You know what I'm saying? Brothers want to fight. They're going to show up to camp just wanting to fight, man. You got to stay in the spirit. Because it's prophecy to happen that way, man.
And that's lucky.
That's
part of what you're going into. Israel bringing forth wild grapes in the vineyard. You got brothers that's laboring to be the righteous grapes, and you got the other people that's not wanting to hear the truth. Those are the wild grapes that's in the vineyard.
That's right. Hey, some of the grapes gonna turn into wine. But some of the other grapes, they just got to get trampled underfoot, man. You know, some of the other grapes ain't gonna make it. All right. Let's get into Mark 12:4. We're only going to go a little bit further in Mark, but I just want to build that point that, you know, Hamashiach Yahushua is a master teacher, man. He taught a lot of things in a little bit of words.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 4. And again, he sent unto them another servant, and at him they cast stones and wounded him in the head and sent him away shamefully handled.
You can keep reading.
And again, he sent another, and him they killed, and many others, beating some and killing some.
Acts 7:52. Acts 7:52. See, look, man, that's the thing. Like, all the prophets that came before you, they got dealt with this way. That's why we got to look at the Christian church kind of funny, man.
Right.
Because them boys, they go up there week in and week out and don't nobody got nothing bad to say to them.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 52. Which of the prophets have not your fathers persecuted? And they have slain them which showed before of the coming of the just one, of whom ye have been now the betrayers and murderers.
That's right. You see that? And we coming up on that point in the story. So that's what you got to look forward to, man. You know, but like Paul said, we got to count it all joy when we go through these tribulations. We got it.
That's a good point, because I hear a lot of people now talking about, you know, how we should talk more with love. Yeah, I was already prophesied, no matter how you talk, they're going to hate you.
That's right.
They're going to do these things to you. And even with Yahushua on his walk and what he was doing, he still was put to death by his own people. So no matter how we talk to our people, you know, whether it's love or it's kind of aggressive, the prophecy is already written, man.
That's right.
You're going to get beaten, you know, whether it's physically or spiritually.
That's right.
It's going to be a rough walk.
That's right, man.
And I got a precept for that.
Yeah, you good.
Let me back off of what you said. This is the book of John, chapter 15, and verse 8. This is the book of John, chapter 15, and verse 18. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. And just like you said, it don't matter, you know, if we was going out there speaking in love or whatever, they hated Yahushua HaMashiach. And we're coming out there delivering his message, they're going to hate the message, regardless whether we're saying it sweetly, like we Joel Osteen.
That's right.
Or whether we're doing like the scriptures say, going out there crying aloud or spare not, they're going to hate us because of what we're saying.
That's right.
So Lucky, I don't want to cut you off, but hey, that's the spirit though, because you said 8. If you could read 8, or I can read it, don't matter. But 8 is going into what the other one Yohanan is talking about, the fruit. Yeah. And later, after he say verse 8, he goes to verse 18 and lets them know the result of what's going to happen to you no matter what.
That's right.
This is the book of John, chapter 15 and verse 8. Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit, so shall ye be my disciples.
So there you go. Yahushua already gave us that commandment to
That's
bear
right.
fruit, to know that if we his disciples, we're going to bear fruit. But later on, like the other one, Yahweh said, verse 18, they're going to still hate you.
That's right.
See what I'm saying?
Right. That's right.
So it's no matter what. He gave you the command to go bear fruit, and he's going to let you know that the people are still going to hate you because you are my disciple. It's plain.
That's right.
You know.
That's right, man. That's a beautiful point too, because you know, I think when we start to grasp that, we stop looking for something else, man.
Right.
Like, because for me, it was hard to think that I could come to my family members and they would not receive something that I said to them. Like that, it didn't make sense. Like outside of the spiritual aspects, right? Because you already know the spiritual aspects. John 6:44. No man can come to the Father unless, you know, or no man can come to me unless the Father draws him, right? So We already know that to be true on the spiritual level, but you don't understand it till you walking it out on the physical level.
Con.
And you standing in front of your people like, hey, look, for real, just take 15 minutes.
Right.
They're going to fall asleep. They're going to be distracted by the damn refrigerator making noise. Like something's going to happen, you know? And
Right.
so, and another thought that just hit my mind too, man. Your faith, and we're going to get into that a little bit, but your faith is not really proven until you go through something.
That's right. Con.
Your faith don't mean nothing. Like when things are good and the Most High give you all these spiritual revelations and and everything smooth, your faith has not been proven yet. Your faith is proven when you're going through the fire, man. That's when we're gonna find out what time it is.
That's when you really start bearing fruit, though.
That's right.
You in that affliction, you in that fire. Can you still produce fruit?
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Because
right.
Even with like you said, you made a good point. Some grapes gonna go in a wine press. A wine press to make fruit ain't, jolly. You get mashed down, pushed down. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna go through something in order to bear that wine if you're a good grape.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But a slothful grape or a wild grape, all it takes is just smushed. You don't go through nothing.
That's right. And it's finished. You don't,
like you said.
You don't get nothing else from that.
Right. You just trample on
smashed. That's right. That's right. And see, that's what we gotta look forward to, man. We gotta look forward to being smashed. Because otherwise, and I said this before, but how do you turn water into wine, man? How do you turn water into wine? This is how you turn water into wine. You water your vineyard. You let your grapes grow, and then you smash them, and then you ferment them, and then you turn them into wine.
Right.
You gotta go through that whole process, though. All right. All right, let's get back. Let's hit. You had something to say, Howard?
No, kind of. Well, I'll bring it out now. This was just kind of speaking to the works and everything. This is the book of Titus, chapter 3, and I get verse 8. Says, "This is a faithful saying, and these things I will that thou affirm constantly, that they which have believed in the Most High might be careful to maintain good works. These things are good and profitable unto men." Right? And this is, with the verse I just want to hit when he said, "And these things I will that thou affirm constantly." Right? We're constantly supposed to be affirming what's said. He goes on that they which have believed in the Most High might be careful to maintain good works. Right? So when the brother brought out that the law ain't dead, right? We are to constantly, right, maintain good works. We are to constantly produce fruit, right? We don't want to be unprofitable. We don't want to be that unprofitable servant that's not producing fruit.
Recall that precept too.
That's the book of Titus, chapter 3 and verse 8.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's a heavy precept.
Hey, hold on. Somebody says Salaki on the call. Go ahead.
Can you read this for me, Jonathan?
You're
talking about water in the wine. Book of Psalms 107, 35 through 37.
Psalms 107, 35 through 37. And it reads, "He turneth the wilderness into a standing water, and dry ground into water springs. And there he maketh the hungry to dwell, that they may prepare a city for habitation, and sow the fields, and plant vineyards, which may yield fruits of increase." That's beautiful.
So Con, that word, man, that water, man, it might not come exactly how you might want it, but it eventually turns into that wine, man, for that doctor.
That's right.
Build us up.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I'm you on that point, bro.
Hey, that's beautiful. The water out of wine. Hey, and look, that's the beautiful thing about it, man. You know, like you can study all you want, and that's why you need brothers, man. Like, you know, brother Yahweh pulling precepts, brother Hatamah pulling precepts, people on the call pulling precepts. And now what happens is that understanding that you started off with is growing and it's building. That's you turning into wine, man. So Khan, that's beautiful.
So like that's how you, like, really with the spirit, just one little precept can turn into many.
That's right.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, Hamashiach Yahushua said that the spirit listed, or it goes where it listed.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't bottle up the spirit. Like I think a lot of the times when we be studying, what stops us from elevating to that next level of our study is I'm only gonna study this today, and I'm not gonna move on to nothing else. I'm just gonna study this, and it's okay to be focused, but don't bottle the spirit up. You understand? All right. Hey, let's get back into Mark 12:6.
Con, this is the book of Mark, chapter 12 and verse 6. Having yet therefore one son, his well-beloved, he sent him also last unto them, saying, they will reverence you, my son.
Nah, I think that verse really was trying to say that the man who owned the vineyard was going to come himself. I think that's what he was trying to say. Read that again.
Con, this is Mark chapter 12 and verse 6. Having yet therefore one son, his well-beloved, he sent him also last unto them, saying, they will reverence my son.
Hey, so look, this right here is a cut, because it can't be no Trinity if the owner of the vineyard didn't come to the field, man. He sent his son to the field. We got to stop this madness, man. Hey, somebody pull Deuteronomy 18:18. Deuteronomy 18:18, man. We're going to find out when did the Most High decide, all right, you know what? Eventually, I'm going to have to send my son.
Con, this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 18 and verse 18. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him.
That's right. So, hey, and nobody, I'm not going to say nobody, it's always somebody, but we don't disagree that that's about Hamashiach Yahushua. Everybody agrees that that's Hamashiach Yahushua right there, that Moses was speaking of. And so this was the Most High saying, hey, look, I know y'all not going to listen. One day I'm going to send my son, and you better listen to him.
Con.
But as the parable says, that's not going to happen. All right. Hey, let's hit the parable, man. Let's go 7 through 9.
Con, this is the book of Mark chapter 9.
Con.
Verse 7. But those husbandmen said among themselves, this is their heir. Come, let us kill him, and the inheritance shall be ours. And they took him and killed him and cast him out of the vineyard.
Hey, Salakia, real quick, let me stop there. So that right there is a spiritual piece right there, right? That can be looked at a couple of different ways, right? We can deal with the righteous remnant of Israel, who was always, you know, they never bowed their knee to the Baal. The scripture says that there was always a righteous remnant. So even being scattered, and Paul tells you that there are Gentiles who keep the law, you know what I'm saying, even though they didn't know the law, so that they become a law unto themselves. They would be representative of that righteous remnant spread to the four corners, man. So they got, and what happened to him? That righteous remnant, it said they took him and killed him. They killed the righteous and cast them out of the vineyard. Ain't we cast it out? Ain't we in the four corners of the earth, man? Okay. Let's hit verse 9 real quick.
Con. What shall therefore the Lord of the vineyard do? He will come and destroy the husbandmen and will give the vineyard unto others.
And so now the Christians say, aha, y'all ain't the people no more. That's when they say this. Okay. And so we got to deal with that. But first, let's look at Psalms 21 and 8 through 10. We got to deal with that. Hey, somebody says Salaki on the call. Go ahead.
So now in verse 7, could that also be a precept with Matthew 27 and 25, where they said, "Let his blood be on us and on the children"?
Of course. That's right. Because they consulted among themselves and said, look, this Mashiach Yahushua dude got to go, man. He got to go. And just like Caiaphas said, Caiaphas prophesied unwillingly in John 11 and 52. And not only that he should die for not only that. Salaki, let me get it. John 11 and 52. And it reads, and not for that nation only, but that he should also gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad. Right? So Caiaphas is saying, hey, look, we got to get rid of this dude before the Passover because it's going to cause some problems. Right? And so John, in his wisdom, he sees that and says, this man was actually prophesying. This man was actually prophesying. And what he was saying is that Yahushua is going to die in order to save the nation. But he didn't even realize that he's not only going to save the nation, he's also going to save the people of God that are scattered abroad. Okay? Khan, let's go ahead and get that in Psalms.
Which one was it again?
Psalms 21 and 8.
Khan, I got you on. Psalms 21, verse 8. Thine hand shall find out all thy enemies, and thy right hand shall find out those that hate thee. Verse 9.
Yeah, Khan.
Thou shalt make them as a fiery oven in the time of thy anger. The Lord shall swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall devour them.
That's right. And read verse 10 as well.
Their fruit shall thou destroy from the earth, and their seed from among the children of men.
Hey, so look at that, man. So this is the first half of that verse where it says what shall therefore the Lord of the vineyard do? He shall come and destroy the husbandman. When you read in Psalms 21, it's dealing with the Most High destroying the wicked, man. That's why it said their fruit you will destroy from off the earth. So he's destroying the wicked. All right. Now we can deal with that second half of that verse. And, we went into it a little bit when we hit John 11 and 52. But we want to know when it says that the Most High will give the vineyard to others. Who are these others, man? Who are these others he's going to give the vineyard to? Was it ever prophesied that the Most High would give his promises to any other people? La'ah.
Yeah.
So now we got a conundrum to solve. We got to figure out how he's going to give the vineyard to other people, but at the same time, he's not going to give the inheritance to other people. Okay, we got a precept. You want to pull it?
Sure.
Find it. While he's finding that, I'm going to get Hosea. No, it's Lucky, not Hosea. I'm tripping. Hold tight. Hold tight. All right, Salakia. So I'm gonna get Amos 3 and 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore will I punish you for all your iniquities. But we read that all the time, right? And we know that the Most High only knows Israel. He only dealing with Israel. Now let's look at verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed? So the reason he's saying that is because we're supposed to be walking with him.
Right. That's
the point of that. Okay. So now we can get your precept. What is your precept? Is that a good one?
Psalms 147, 19, 20.
Read it loud.
All right.
No, you got to call it and read it loud.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, in verse 19 and 20. He showeth his word unto Jacob, and his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise
All
you.
praises.
God, all praises. That's right, man. That's right. So look, if the Most High only showed his statutes and his commandments to Israel, how at the same time can he give the vineyard that produces the fruit to other people?
All right.
It's impossible.
I had a precept.
Khan, go ahead.
Daniel 2:44. Daniel 2:44. And it says, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to another people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. So I'm not going to give the kingdom to another people, man.
That's right. You're not going to. That's right. So now we got to fix that. We got to understand that problem. We got to understand the problem of who are these other people. All right. So let's go to, I have my precept written down and I don't know where it's at, y'all. Salakia. But let's do, hey, you know what? We're going to do the classic, man. Let's go to Romans 8. Romans 8:29, man. We're just going to do it the classic way.
Okay, I got you. The book of the book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 29. From whom he did foreknew, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren.
Okay, so we got a couple of elements that tie things together here. Those whom he foreknew, which we just read, the only family he knows is Israel. Okay, so those who he foreknew has to be Israel. But he also predestinated, right? Foreknowledge that those same people will be conformed to the image of his son. His son is the dude who showed up in the vineyard looking for the fruit. So he predestinated that his chosen people are going to be just like his son, his only begotten son. So now we see that it's the same people, although the Bible says it's a different people. And the reason that is because they were scattered. Does everybody understand that, or do we need to break that down a little bit smoother?
So is it safe to say that that once we conform to that image of the son, we're gonna come and do the work in the vineyard since the son is now gone?
That's right. And we're gonna be the ones asking for the fruit.
Right. I got a precept for that. I was waiting to bring this out. I'm glad you said that. 1 Corinthians 4:9. Because all people gotta understand, like, this truth ain't start like blowing up until like now. You know, we had to go through the elements, like you said, the Black Panther Party, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. We had to go through those other black political movements to get to where we at now. So 1 Corinthians 4:9. And it says, for I think that Yahweh has sent forth us, the apostles last, as it were appointed to death, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men. So now the apostles, not saying we the apostles back on earth, but we saying that we have the doctrine that Yahweh Shah taught, and we are here to present it to our people now.
That's right.
We are sent last. We went through all the black movements, the black, you know, whatever they were trying to do. We went through that. Now we here with the truth.
And like you said, it was a spectacle.
Come.
That's right.
And Salaki, just to my bad, would you do out?
No, you're good. You're good. I'm gonna get the dude on the call after you.
I just wanted to you know, kind of let me back, and I had a precept too. You know, when I think about it, it's like if you have a dad, right, and you know, you get punished by your father for breaking his rules, right, for breaking the rules of the house, and then you know you done got whooped. You know what I'm saying? He done brought the paddle to you, whatever it was, right? And then, you know, after you done had to suffer the punishment, the whoopings, right, for breaking his commands and everything, right? After you done been chastised, and then you get your mind right, and then you come back and you start doing everything, and he said, you know what? All right, good. And then he gets ready to reward you for it. And he said, but you know what? I'm not just gonna reward you. Let's get the people from down the street to come over, and they go sharing with this reward with you, right? And you like, hold up,
Right.
They didn't catch none of these beatings,
Right?
They get it. They didn't have to do anything. They was out doing whatever they wanted to do. Why do they get to share my reward? And that's how I feel when all these other people, when all these other nations feel like now, because they done got their hands on our book, feel like they are just to receive all of the promises, all of the blessings that the Most High has promised to us.
Right.
When they wasn't given the law, right? Your bond just brought that out. They wasn't given it, right? They ain't have to follow it. They ain't get punished for it. They ain't get chastised for it, but they think they're entitled to it, right? This is the book of Job, chapter 2 and verse 27. This is a classic too. It says, "And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am Yahweh, your power, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed." So he's only our God, not nobody else's. He didn't deal with no other nation. Ain't no other nation entitled to the promises. Ain't no other nation entitled to the kingdom, right? And we're not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed to go out and tell these devils no more, hey, this ain't for you. You're not getting the kingdom.
That's right. That's right. Then on top of that, they turn around and say, not only are we going to come and eat at your dinner table, but we're not going to follow none of the rules that you had to follow.
That part.
Not going to fly. Not with my pops. If my pops was there, who in the hell is this?
Right.
In the house.
Right.
That's crazy.
You know?
They don't even want to wait for the crumb. They don't even want to wait for the crumb that fall from the master's table. They don't even want to wait for that servitude. Just be a servant.
Right.
They want to be the people. Come on, man. Y'all had y'all chance.
That's right, man. Hey, Khan, go ahead. Go ahead.
Here's a quick precept. This Baruch chapter 2 and 30 through 35. It says, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people.
That's right.
But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves, and shall know that I am the Lord their God. For I will give them a heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before the Lord. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they shall be lords of it. And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God, and they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people out, my people of Israel, out of the land I have given them." And there's the proof right there. Those are those people that were scattered abroad, that were going to all of these captivity, going to all of these different lands, and then devoured each of these kingdoms.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I'm going to pull a precept to back that up as well. Khan, go ahead.
Yeah, I just had a precept just on the topic of that grape having to go through that process to be made into perfect wine, right? And also that there are people that are not eligible to even go through this process. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 9 and verse 20. "So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it. And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect."
That's right.
So, like brothers was going into, there's a cluster that's chosen, that's already been chosen, that has to go through that process to be made to good wine. And now, if we see in verse 22, there's a multitude that's going to perish, who was born to perish. So that's your proof right there that there is a remnant that has to be chosen, that was already written, that shall be chosen.
Hey, that's beautiful too, man. That right there is a master precept to explain what we're looking at, you know. And so in that's kind of the vein that we want to be in. We want to understand why is the Most High saying He gonna give His vineyard to another people, man? Because guess what? Through the process of captivity, we become another people. We became another people, man. We became Gentiles. We became Americans. We became Haitians. We became anything under the sun, man. Native Americans. Let me read this real quick. This is Hosea chapter 1 and 9. Then said the Most High, call his name Lo Ami, for you are not my people, and I will not be your God. Now, when he says that verse, this is a prophecy to Hosea about one of his children. He said, name your son Lo Ami, right? Which means no people mine, right? Not my people. And so the Most High is telling them, look, you're not going to be my people for a certain period of time. So when he gives the vineyard to another people, it's us, but he gives it to us because we wasn't his people at that particular point in time. He's bringing us back into the covenant. That's what the brother was demonstrating with those precepts. All right. We can get back into Mark. We're going to finish up Mark, and then we're going to jump into Isaiah 21 or Isaiah 2. Should be Mark 12, and I think we ended up at verse 10.
Con, this is the book of Mark, chapter 12 and verse 10. And have ye not read this scripture? The stone which the builders rejected is become the head of the corner.
That's right. That's right.
This was the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes.
Con. So that's the end of that parable, man. You know, Yahushua, once again, telling a lot of things in a little bit of verses. All right. Let's get into Isaiah chapter 2. We're going to see another example of the exact same thing.
Hey, Salakia.
Con.
Hey, verse 11 is key though. This was the Lord's doing. So
Right.
that again kills people when they say, you know, hey, they chose to kill Yahushua. You know, all of it was in the master in the Most High's plan.
That's
you
right.
know, the people that would reject the Yahushua was already predestined to reject Yahushua.
That's right.
If you wasn't meant to bring forth fruit, it was already predestined. See what I'm saying? That's all the Most High is doing.
Con. Yeah, see, that's the thing about it, man. You know, everything that's done is the Most High's doing. That's what people don't understand. So this brother here, look, hey, what you can do is you can call the conference call. Hey, let's get the conference call number on the screen real quick, or on the chat. Somebody drop it in there. And see, look, this is how you can deal. This is how you understand when you see a scoffer, right?
Wild grape.
Right. This is the wild grape right here. Because look, this man said your camp has no keys or Bible codes. The Bible is the key. So, you know, it is what it is. Now, this is what I want to do. Let's get into Mark or Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1, and then we're gonna get through that, and then we can open it up for questions.
Con. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 2 and verse 1. The word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of Yahweh's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it.
All right, so what we're gonna do this time is this. We're gonna do a little bit different than we normally do it. We're gonna I'm gonna get Hatamai to pull Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Because we are the top nation. But we need to understand what that means. We need to understand what that means. Does that mean that we stronger than everybody? I got a precept that says the Most High did not choose us because we're stronger than everybody. Does that mean that we're more in number than everybody? I got a precept that says we're not more in number than everybody. The Most High chose us because he chose us. You know what I'm saying? That's why he chose us, man. Like we got the long straw. Now our responsibility now is to be the top camp in all of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Not camp as in SOT, but the top nation in all of the earth, so that we can pass that down to the other nations and put them in subjection. That's the whole point of this. They're supposed to be in subjection. Okay? All right. So Go ahead and hit Deuteronomy 7 and 6 real quick.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy God, and the Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
That's right. So he set us above all people upon the face of the earth. Now, what exactly does this mean? What exactly does this mean? So that's what I want to go into. So read Isaiah 2 and 2 one more time.
Con, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 2 and verse 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of Yahweh's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it.
Okay. So in order for us to break this down, we need to understand what the mountains are. The brother asked the question right on time, right? So what are the mountains? So here, the mountain of the Lord is dealing with the nation of Israel, the entire nation. Okay. So, and we're going to demonstrate that. I have other precepts to help you understand that. But let's look at what it's saying. It shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains. Does that mean all the mountains going to gather themselves together and it's going to be one mountain sitting on top of a bunch of mountains? No, this is metaphorical language dealing with Mount Zion or Israel or Yasha'Allah being the top nation. Okay. And it shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. Okay. Pull Matthew 5 and 14. And like I said, man, Hamashiach Yahweh shall be putting little things in his parables and stuff that is just so slick, but it explains everything by itself. A lot of the times we have a tendency to go grab a precept to explain it, but in certain situations, it's already been broken down. All right.
Hey,
Kind of. I want Matthew 5 and 14 real quick.
Matthew 5 and 14.
Kind.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
It's set on a what?
A hill that cannot be hid.
The city that is set on a hill. A hill is a high or elevated place, an exalted place, right? Above all nations. So we the city that's set on the hill. All right. Go ahead. Read the next part as well. Verse 15.
Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, and put but on a candlestick, and they giveth light unto all that are in the house.
Okay. So yeah, that's it on that. That's it on that. But notice that he says a city that is set on a hill. Okay, because we're the nation above all nations. You know what I'm saying? We higher than the other nations. And our duty is to shine that light to bring them into subjection. That's the whole purpose of this. All right. Isaiah 49 and 6, and then I know Hatimah has something.
Isaiah 49 and 6.
Yep. And we're gonna make sure that you understand what I'm saying about the mountains. Like it's gonna all flow together. So when he said you the light of the world, a city that's set on a hill and a mountain are actually, they have the same Hebrew word. You know, they can elevated area, you know what I'm saying? So they use those words, hills and valleys. They use those words kind of interchangeably throughout the scriptures.
Okay. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 49 and verse 6. And he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to restore the preserved of Israel. I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth.
You see that? So Christians gonna take this a whole different way, but we're not gonna deal with that. We just dealing with the fact that our job is after he's risen up the tribes of Israel, you know what I'm saying? All of the tribes and brought them back together and put them in their proper place. You gotta flip that quietly. And he put them all back in their proper place. Then now it's our point to be a light to the Gentile. We gotta put them in order, man. We can't leave Esau to his own devices. Esau gotta be put in chains, man. That's the only way around that. Because you leave Esau in the corner, he'll corrupt the corner, man. Go ahead.
That's a good point, because that's where a lot of our black, movements went to. They was too busy trying to mix and mingle everybody within us instead of getting us right.
Right.
Once we could at least, let's take out the Bible when we was in that time. If you had just basic standards, don't lie to one another, don't steal from one another, and be loyal, and you bring us together, we could have did something.
Right.
But it's the point to where even in the movie Judas and the Black Messiah, the guy went around getting white hillbillies that wasn't being treated the same as the white privileged folks. Why go and get them?
Right.
You could have stuck with the black people and the Latino people and linked that together, and maybe we wouldn't have failed. That's our problem. We don't want to deal with us first and then go out and teach the others and get them in subjection. It'll never work. So that's a great point that you're making.
That's right, man. We don't know how to do it.
Right.
We literally, if we step away from these scriptures, we can't do it. Now, when I was younger, right, I was in the military. I read this book because I looked up to this man. I felt like he had the answers. I can flip through here. Now. I still got notes and sticky notes and all kind of stuff up in here. But one thing they definitely did, you know what I'm saying? They built alliances, like the brother was saying. And he notates that in this book. They built alliances with oppressed people of any background. So they had homosexuals standing beside them at certain points. They had Asian people from damn Korea who was being oppressed in Korea. He would write to them and they would respond back, hey man, we see the black man's plight in America. So he was just basically reaching out to whoever he could to get any type of help. And that right there is going to be your downfall, man.
It's always the downfall.
That's always the downfall.
Go ahead, Otto. I'll let him go first.
Come on. Go ahead. Hey, go ahead. You got it.
Oh, Con. The brothers already have Deuteronomy 22:9.
I don't have that. You can get it.
Okay, Con. I just wanted to bring this precept out to your point. This is Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 9. Thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds, lest the fruit of thy seed which thou hast sown in the fruit of thy vineyard be defiled. So, we know this is also talking about, not mingling in with diverse, estranged people, the strange women of other nations, but, also talking about doctrine, right? If you look at with a spiritual lens, like you was going into it, Black Panthers, they had a great movement, that was for the empowerment of our people, but they were diversifying themselves with strange fruit, for lack of better words, And so, it got defiled. The vineyard got defiled. It got lost, corrupted, like you see today with this whole BLM thing. Now it's become a whole gay movement.
Right.
It's the people have lost sight of what it was even planted for.
In a gay movement.
So I just wanted to bring that up.
That's right. You said it been a gay movement.
It was always a gay movement. It always had an agenda. They came out and tried to say, oh yeah, Black Lives Matter, but it was always a gay agenda behind it.
That's right.
Hey, Shalaki. To even bring it back to the point, like going to what, Kahari was saying, when you go to Deuteronomy 22:9, that's a good point. Even I was reading through Leviticus the other day.
Mm-hmm.
When you sow a seed into the ground, if something unclean gets on that seed, once it sprouts up, it's unclean because something dead was on it. See what I'm saying? You find that in Leviticus too. But to hearken into the point that you made earlier, you got those clusters of wild grapes and you got the righteous grapes. All those other movements, man, those are the cluster of wild grapes. They still Israelites, but now you got You got all types of other fruits that's mingled in with this bulk of grapes.
That's right.
And it can never grow. It can never prosper. You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying? You're supposed to have only Israelites that's trying to be righteous, that's living to be righteous. Right. So
That's right. Hey, that's why the Most High. That's why Yahushua gave you that parable of the wheat and the tares, man.
mhm.
You're gonna have in this setup right here. You're gonna have a mixed field, and the Most High is gonna let it all grow up until the end, and then He's gonna separate the wheat from the chaff, man. And that is the spiritual harvest. You understand? That's why he tells the angels. He says, "Hey, go into the earth and gather the harvest, man." So, but hey, I want to get into this mountain. I want to answer it directly. Okay. So we kind of explained our way through it. Now we're going to answer it. Okay. So the brother brought a great precept, Ezekiel 20 and 40. For in mine holy mountain, in the mountain of the height of Israel, saith the Lord God, there shall all the house of Israel, all of them in the land, serve me. Okay. So we see here again that the mountain and the height of Israel, you see that, are used in parallel in that verse. I got another precept, Zechariah 4 and 7. I'm gonna get Yahweh to pull Isaiah 40 and 4, and then Hatamah get Jeremiah 51 and 25.
Come, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 40 and verse 4. Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low. Salakia. And the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain.
That's right. So check this out. And we're gonna read a little bit further on that, right? But is the Most High saying that He's gonna make the earth flat? No, that's not what He's dealing with right now, right? Go ahead, read. Keep going.
Come. And the glory of Yahweh shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together, for the mouth of Yahweh hath spoken it.
So that goes to show you that second verse just gives you extra context to understand that He's dealing with judgment in this verse. Okay. And so if all the nation is going to see it, there's no significance in Him just leveling out the mountains and bringing up the valley. There's no significance in that. He's saying the high parts of the earth, those high and lofty people, and then those low and the base people, I'm a even the playing field, man. Okay. Go ahead. Hit yours, Hatamah.
That's Jeremiah 51 and 25. Is that it?
Yeah, hold on. I'll mess around. I lost my place. Salakia. Jeremiah 51:25. Come.
Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroys all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain.
That's right. So that's an example of a people group being called a mountain, right? Or destroying mountain, because a mountain can't destroy nothing. So just giving you the context to let you see that when he's dealing with mountains, he's talking about people in certain
precept for you too.
This
is the book of Psalms, chapter 68 and verse 15. It says, the hill of the Most High is as the hill of Bashan, and high hill as the hill of Bashan. Why leap ye hills? This is the hill which the Most High desireth to dwell in. Yea, Yahweh will dwell in it forever. Right? So he's not talking about a hill. There's not another hill that's envying another. Right? These are nations of people who he's speaking in reference to.
Hey, that's right. Hey, Tawada, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Barakatah, Big Ma for the donation. And yeah, man, hey, that's a perfect precept right there, because it demonstrates that it's giving mountains and hills the characteristics of people. So we know that it can't be a physical mountain or a physical hill. All right, let's get back into Isaiah 2. We're going to finish this off with the next 3 verses, and then we're going to open it up for questions. We left off at verse 3.
All right. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 2 and verse 3. And many people shall go and say, come ye, yea, and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, to the house of the power of Jacob.
Okay, so real quick. So now you see, because that's a parallel right there. The Bible does that a lot. So it'll say one thing, it'll be like, XYZ, semicolon, XYZ. And that's what they call a parallelism. So both sides of the semicolon are generally equal, or sometimes it'll be exact opposites, right? It's a form of poetry they use in the Hebrew Bible. So right there, he says, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, comma, to the house of the God of Jacob. So that is just showing you that the house of the God of Jacob is what we've been talking about the whole time. All right, go ahead.
And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem.
Now, who are we talking about? Are we talking about actual Gentiles? Or are we talking about scattered Israelites in this verse 3?
Talking about scattered Israelites.
So in this verse, in this particular verse, we're talking about the other nations.
Okay.
The other nations, because remember, the house of the Lord or the mountain of the Lord will be exalted above all the other mountains, right? And look at the end of verse 2 says, and all nations shall flow unto it. And then verse 3 says, and many people shall go and say, come, let us go up to the house of the Lord. So the reason I'm pointing that out is that's the reason you the top nation. You're not the top nation so that you could go buy some Jordans and go out here and stunt on niggas and just be a regular nigga in America, man. That's not why you the top nation. Go ahead.
Hey, Shalaka, hey, I don't want you would be right if you was in a Christian church. Because they love saying that. Let's go up to the mountain of the Lord. Like they Gentiles, man. No, you are the mountain of the Lord. So
that's right. That's
spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of our people are deceived to thinking they Gentiles. They think they are the ones that's going back up to the mountain of Israel.
Right.
Going to learn it.
That's right. And they think that not only are they Gentiles, but they got to follow those people over there that call themselves Jews. That's why black churches, white churches, donating over $1 billion every year to Israel, man.
That's right.
It's crazy,
man.
But they don't do nothing for you. They don't do nothing for your communities. Hey, the water Rodney and Soldier Uriah, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shabbat. So I'm showing you this for a reason. Let's hit verse 4.
Verse 4. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore.
So this right here has clearly not happened yet, right? But in the last days, it says, and he shall judge among the nations. Hamashiach Yahushua is going to judge between the nations, right? And he's going to rebuke many people, and he's going to cause them to change their instruments of war into what? Pruning hooks and plowshares. They about to be servants. They about to be doing work. Yo, we gotta put y'all to work, man.
So crazy because it reminds me of at the beginning we was talking about gardening and all this stuff about that. He said turn all their stuff into like gardening and stuff. They're still going out there gathering all.
That's right. That's right. We still gonna be taking care of that garden. That's right. That's a good point.
It's lucky, and even that right there, that's symbolic of what your son is saying. You turn this stuff into gardens. In a garden, you do what? You go out there and you plant fruit.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They coming up to the mountain of the Most High to get edified and taught.
That's right.
They're gonna go back and bear fruit. You know what I'm saying? To
That's
where
right.
they kids starting to keep commandments. If they want to live, they're gonna bear righteous fruit. If they want to live,
that's gonna be the only way they're gonna live.
If they want to live, you see what I'm saying? Right. So it's all spiritual, man.
That's right, man. And so we gotta. This is what I implore Israel to do. You know, remember why we teaching our people.
Right.
You know, it's easy for us to lose patience with Israel. It's very easy for us to lose patience. You know, I'm a victim of this, obviously multiple times. But if we lose patience, you know, and our only job is to bring people in so that they can produce fruit. You know what I'm saying? And we running people away. Most High not gonna be feeling that, man.
Right.
You know, and Hamashiach, when he sent, hold on, real quick. When he sent those tenants back to the field, and he said, "Hey, go gather my fruit." Those men who came to gather his fruit was willing to die because they weren't gonna come back to the Most High without their fruit.
Yeah, that's right.
So they came to the vineyard. Hey, look, man, I need that fruit, and they was like, "Nah, we good." And I'm not leaving until I get the damn fruit. And they literally had to put some of these prophets to death, man. Peter, Paul, some of these boys, John, they had to put these boys to death, man, because they weren't gonna leave without getting that fruit. Go ahead.
No, I was just laying back off of what you're saying. You know, we got to be long suffering.
Hey, and so like fruit don't mean people, because a plant can grow dead leaves. You see what I'm saying? So fruit is not always people. It's good to have people, but what fruits are they bearing? What type of spirit are they walking in? Because really the walk is really, like you said, prepping yourself to be that light, to get ready to be that light to the other nations, to set this nation back in earth. That's the real reason. You see what I'm saying? So that's a good point. But if you was done with that, I had two precepts to go back to what you was talking about earlier with actually bearing fruit.
Okay, yeah, you can get them. I got a couple of precepts for verse 4, but we can hit that.
No. Finish your thought. It's all good.
All right, con. So let me get Hosea 2:18 and Zechariah 9:10.
I got Hosea for you.
I'll grab Zechariah. You said 9 and 10?
Yeah, 9 and 10.
Con.
Hosea chapter 2, verse 18. And in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely.
You see that? So the Most High is gonna break the bow and the battle out of the earth, man. It ain't gonna be no more fighting. You're gonna you're gonna run up to the Most High. You're gonna find out he the Most High, and you're gonna change your tune and start singing like a bird, man. And then you're gonna be out in the field after that, producing fruit. Go ahead,
Found this book of Zechariah, chapter 9 and verse 10. And I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim, and the horse from Jerusalem, and the battle bow shall be cut off, and he shall speak peace unto the heathen, and his dominion shall be from sea even to sea, and from the river even to the ends of the earth.
That's right. Hey, and Old Testament only can't get away from that. You know what I'm saying? Because it says that his dominion will be from sea to sea. No so-called Hamashiach that they've had so far has had dominion from sea to sea yet. Not even some of them even bugged out enough to say that Cyrus was a Hamashiach just because it used the word anointed. But Cyrus didn't even have dominion from sea to sea, man. So, but right here it's telling you that not only are the battle weapons going to be cut off, but we're going to speak peace to the heathen. What does it mean to speak peace? We're going to run up and we're going to be like, yo, you're going to lay down and you're going to stay down. And that's it. That's speaking peace. You know, it ain't going to be no handshakes and hugs.
Hey, because we really lost like the way of like people got to understand what's being spoken about is not westernized. You know what I'm saying? We are Eastern people. Right. The way they conduct themselves in the East is a lot different than how they conduct themselves in the West. Our peace is not the same peace as it is over here in the West.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not a peace sign. This is war. Like you said, get down or lay down.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And stay down.
That's right.
Like oh, go ahead.
God, somebody said Salaki.
Oh, my bad. Oh, my bad. I ain't gonna cut you off.
Hey, Tawada Abaya, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah. Hey, if I missed anybody, man, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah, we appreciate it.
All right. Hey, like when we was in the land,
mm-hmm.
and, they was trying to buy on the Sabbath, buy and sell on the Sabbath. the brother said, if you come back, you know, he
The
gonna put
hands on
hands
you.
on him. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different type of
That's
peace.
right.
I'm
That's
giving
right.
you an ultimatum. Pick one. You come and sell, you're gonna get put down. If you don't, go live in peace.
That's right.
That's one option. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, God.
That's right. All right, go ahead, y'all.
I had a precept. Did you have Isaiah 60 and 12?
La'ah.
This is the book of Isaiah 60 and verse 10 through 12. It says, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls,
That's right.
and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. So just as you were saying before,
That's right.
you either get down or lay down. And if you lay down, you're going to stay down.
That's right. That's
How
right.
you?
Hey, Khan, that's right. And look, this is a good point to bring out since we here. Let's jump down to verse 14 as well, same chapter. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending, Salakia, shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow down themselves at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. So this is what you're really seeing, right? The Most High been busting our ass this whole time, trying to get us back in line, trying to get us to be right. Okay, and we're gonna let's read Isaiah 2 and 5. That's the last verse in that part.
I got you.
But the Most High been busting our ass this whole time to get us back in line, so that we can put them back in line, man.
That's right.
So this whole thing is about order, man. We just been out of order this whole time.
Most I say, ye are my battle axes and weapons of war.
That's right.
With you will I break the nation. So, hey, Isaiah 2 and 5. O house of Jacob, come ye and let us walk in the light of the Lord.
That's right. That's right, man. So that's what we teach, man. You know, the brother want to scoff. The brother want to scoff and get in the comment board talking about we don't got the keys. But you know what? That's the key right there. Come ye and let us walk in the light of the Lord, man. That's right. That's the key right there. That's a major key, because the only thing, if you don't understand nothing else, understand that if you don't fall in subjection under the Most High now, then you're gonna do it after death by pain.
That's right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't no options really. You know? All right, Khan. So go ahead. You got a question?
No, it's not a question. It was something I have to say. That one with, but I was thinking about that. You was talking about the wild grapes, and it reminded me of if you're lukewarm, he'll spew you out. But it reminds me of the same thing, like the same concept. Because if you're wild, he'll spit you out. Like he won't accept the grape.
That's right. That's right. And you're not good for anything. He said, "What is the salt if it has lost its savor? It's not good for anything but to be what? Trodden under the foot." That's right. Hey, Khan, go ahead.
Just to go on to the brother's point, you know, he brought out some good. You know, you a wild grape need to be accepted. It's Sirach chapter 40, verse 14. While he openeth his hand, he shall rejoice. So shall transgressors come to naught. The children of the ungodly shall not bring forth many branches, but are as unclean roots upon a hard rock.
That's right.
The weed growing upon every water and bank of a river shall be pulled up before all grass. Right? So, you know, that unwanted crop, you know, those weeds, you know, those unclean roots, they're gonna be plucked up out of the garden. They have no place there amongst the good vine. So, you know, it's gonna be clipping season pretty soon.
Khan, that's right. Brother said clipping season. Boy, we might Most High about to be pruning the vine out this month. That's right, man. All praises. Hey, Khan, you had a precept, Hatamad?
Oh, Con, yeah. I had two simple precepts. It was Proverbs 6:23. Because like in order to be a fruit, or in order to start off as like a plant, you need proper sunlight and water. Like, and that's spiritual because we know that Proverbs 6:23. If somebody can bring that out for me.
I got you. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 23. That's the spirit. I was there with you. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
Right. So the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. And we know that for a plant, you got to have a sun. And our sun will be the commandments. That's our light.
That's right.
Right? Somebody give me Ephesians 5:26.
Con, I got that one.
Ephesians 5:26. So we got the sun or the light, which is the laws and the commandments.
Con, Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
And the washing of the water by the word. So you need sun, you need the sunlight, and you need water in order to grow a proper plant or fruit, in order to actually bear fruit. So it's the same thing with us. We need to be washed by the water, by the word, and we need the law, statutes, and commandments, which is the light.
That's right.
Right, and all that comes from the Most High.
That's right.
Which, like you said, is the husbandman of the vineyard. So I thought that was a good point, which he was making on earlier in the book of Mark.
All praises. And you know, the spirit just kind of been dealing with me on a level of, we got to stay humble, man. Do you know how easy it is? Do you know how easy it is to not be humble? Like this how easy it is to not be humble. You standing on the street teaching, you doing the work of the Most High. You got your fringes on. It's the Sabbath, and you celebrating it with your family. You doing everything that you think you can do right. And then somebody come up to the camp. They don't know the doctrine. And you laughing and scorning at them. Oh, this brother's stupid. What the hell he talking about?
Right.
Now you in pride. You in pride that fast.
That's right.
So pride really is the sneakiest demon, bro. Because like you 1 second you good, and the next second you all the way off into the deep end dealing with pride, man. And you don't see it because pride is one of those things that attaches to or it justifies itself.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I mean by that? Well, the brother didn't know the scriptures. What am I supposed to do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He don't know the scriptures.
Yeah.
We do the same thing with our family members. Man, they don't know nothing.
Hey.
You know? But what Paul said, Paul said he don't know nothing. So if Paul don't know nothing, I shouldn't know nothing.
Okay. Facts.
So we got to. That's right. Go ahead.
Like what they say, or that saying that pride is like bad breath.
Say it again. I ain't never heard that one.
It says pride is like bad breath. You don't know you got it until somebody tell you.
Hey,
hey, that's a cut right there. That's true though. That's true because you feel like you just moving. You feel like you just doing your thing.
because they select it. Because that's real. Like you said, and like the other one brought out earlier in Titus 3:8 to maintain good works. Once you come into the truth, you all fired up. You're ready to teach. Go out there and get on the white man, rebuke your people, tell your mom she don't know what the hell she talking about. But once you get into that stretch, like that second or third year, you're like, damn, what have I really done?
That's right.
What have I really bared? See what I'm saying? And you start going back to the drawing board, and you're like, damn, let me go back and work on the basics, the milk. Let me start to humble myself because I done got real powerful.
Right.
So that's like super important. And like the other one said, it's like bad breath. You don't know you got it until somebody tell you, like, hey, yo, you need to humble yourself.
And then you don't believe it.
Right. You try to justify, hey, I'm good, man. I don't learn from blah, 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 man.
Right.
Hey, I'm in the truth. Huh? You don't know what you're wrong. It's like, damn.
That's right.
That go back to the point I don't want to Wabia brought out a couple weeks ago about dealing with your parents. You see what I'm saying? They did the best that they could with what was given to them. What was given to them? Christianity, the Black Panther Party, the Malcolm X. They didn't have the truth like that. See what I'm saying? And look at what we giving now. We giving the truth. And that's why I don't want y'all always say the children that's after us, those probably gonna be the ones that bring in the kingdom, because they growing up in this era where it's Israelites everywhere.
That's right.
Everywhere. It's no excuse now.
That's right. Hey, pretty soon, man. Most High willing, we will see the day. We will see the day when it's a congregation of children who ain't never seen a Christmas. Never seen a pork chop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, them boys don't know what it is. Like, sometimes I sit back and I be thinking, like, you know, I think about what Elisha said. Elisha was like, you know, Father, it's only I feel like I'm alone. I am the only one out here. I alone am serving you. But what the Most High said, he said, it's 1,000 of you that have not bowed their knee to the Baal.
7,000.
And right, 7,000. Like, so think about that, man. Like, we see a little glimpse of the kingdom, but the Most High, you know, the Most High got something planned, man. So we gotta stay strong in this thing. And also, I wanted to encourage brothers as well, because this is why it's so important for us to study. This is why it's so important for us to study, because our main office is to teach the nations how to be in subjection. That means we got to be the best at being in subjection. That means we got to be the best at being in order, because we got to teach order to the nations. We got to be the best at understanding the real meat behind these scriptures. Like, you understand the deepest breakdowns. That's beautiful, but are you able to walk it out?
That part.
That's the most important part of the whole.
That's a cut.
That's right.
That's a cut.
So we got to get there. We got to, you know. Hey, the brother asked us to pull this. I'm gonna pull it real quick. It's Jeremiah 20:8.
And I'm right here.
Oh, Khan, go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 20 and verse 8. For since I spake, I cried out. I cried violence and spoil, because the word of the Lord was made a reproach unto me, and a derision daily. Verse 9. Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name. But his word was in my heart as a burning fire, shut up in my bones, and I was wearied with forbearing, and I could not stay.
That's right, man.
That's how it's supposed to be. The scripture's supposed to be burning up in you to where you can't stay still. And when that feeling start to come, that don't mean you go out and, like you said, tell our people, oh, you stupid, because you don't know the Bible. That you go out and edify. See what I'm saying? And like the brother said, study and live what you read. Exactly. When that scriptures is shut up in your bones and you so on fire, go out and practice what you preach.
That's right.
Be that light. It's real simple. It's be that light. And like we was going into earlier, a lot of why people really ain't flocking to this, because look at the example that we've been setting as far as the light go. We on the corners yelling, screaming, cussing at white people and other people, and we're not really focusing on what we were setting out here to do.
Right. Which
is bring our people back into the fold to where actually the nation's gonna actually come and want to serve us.
That's right. That's right. Hey, that's a cut, man, because look, if you not hold on, so I can read at the same time. Yeah, but if you're not focused on the fact that you teaching in order to bring forth the kingdom, if you forget that, it's easy to get out there and do something else.
Mm-hmm.
So let me give you an example. I used to coach basketball, and my thing was this: if you're gonna be on the court, be on the court. Don't like I had kids on my team. Don't be on the court and you staring off to the side. You done forgot you playing basketball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and we go through this all the time. Like, if we at camp, we gotta be in the spirit. We gotta be in the spirit. Esau can pull up at any time and start dumping on the camp. If you're not in the spirit, you finished out there. That could be the Most High's judgment on you right there at camp.
Right.
So we just, it's not even a game. It's not even a game.
Okay. And Salaki, I want to say this too, because I think that a lot of times, when we first come into the truth, especially, we're so eager and so happy to have the knowledge, we run out and we want to give it to everybody, and we want to, hey, I know this, you know, this is who we are. This is the truth. I got the truth. And in our zeal, right, we get a little bit frustrated sometimes and get upset when people don't react the way we think they should react, right? So we gotta stop, you know, expecting people to just, as soon as we tell them, be like, oh, you know,
Right.
and just deal with them where they are. And remember, what did it take for you to come into the truth? Right? How long did it take for you to come into the truth? Right? Because, you know, we wasn't born into it. We each had to learn this thing, right? And we each still learning it as we go, right? We can't say that we completely fully have it yet, right?
That's
you
right.
know, we know in part, we prophesy in part. So we still learning. So we gotta make sure, like, man, the brother brought out, be humble, stay humble with it. You know, and if you go and you give the truth and they don't receive it, you know, don't go and start berating them and cussing them out. Like he said, oh, you dumb, you stupid, you don't got the truth, you not in the truth, or you part of the 1/3, or excuse me, Slocky, the 2/3.
Right.
You know, just, hey, okay.
Just
fine.
let it go.
Let it go.
That's right.
One sows, one waters, but the Most High gives the increase.
That's right.
That's right. Hey, the brother pulled a precept.
I got it right here.
All right, Khan. Hey, he says Salaki. We're gonna let him go after the precept.
God. Psalms 30, like Psalms 39:3. My heart was hot within me. While I was musing, the fire burned. Then spake I with my tongue, Yahweh, make me to know mine end and the measure of my days, what it is, that I may know how frail I am. Behold, thou hast made my days as an handbreadth, and my age is as nothing before thee. Verily, every man at his best state is altogether vanity. Selah.
It's a good precept.
Hey, just to let me back off that point before the brother get his precept, that lets you know, don't brag about how long you've been into this truth. One, because we all gonna get that same penny at the end of the day.
That's right.
Scripture just said every man in his best state is altogether vanity.
Right.
Because it don't matter how long you've been into this thing. Can you endure to the end? Can you maintain those fruits that you got? You know what I'm saying? Or are you just doing this thing because it's normal? It's normal to be in the truth now.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right. That's right. And at that point, it becomes vanity. Hey, Khan, you can go ahead with your precept out.
Khan, I just wanted to bring out this precept in James chapter 5, dealing with patience, because something that, me myself, I've been being worked on with is, just this concept right here, having that patience. This is James chapter 5, verse 7. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and has long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain. So the same way, that the Most High is having patience for his select cluster, right? That's the same patience we have to have going out into the garden, doing this work. We were watering grapes, so we have to have that same patience that he had with us.
Hey, that's beautiful, man. And that goes into one of the parables that Mashiach Yahushua tells, dealing with the man who owed. You know what I'm saying? He owed this ruler like 100 shekels or something like that. And the ruler forgave him, but then he turned around and went out, and the dude owed him $5, and he want to put the man to death. Like, brother, what? You know what I'm saying? So we just simple, man. We gotta make these connections, and it's easy to let your zeal jump on your back, and it'll turn into sin for you, man. It's easy for that to happen. That's why the scripture has to tell you to be angry but sin not.
Hey, that's a key gem, because
that's right.
Just a little testimony. Like I just said, for the first 1 to 2 years, you kind of just cruising off. I ain't gonna say it's hate, but you kind of cruising off, like, bashing white people and thinking you know everything. When I first came into this truth, I was like, yo, I can't wait till I know enough. I'm going up to my old church because my church was a mega church.
Mm-hmm.
I went to World Overcomers. You know about it, Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
World Overcomers in Durham and Raleigh.
Yeah.
You know, man, I was gonna go up there and just blaze on the pastor, man. I'm talking about I had it already in here. Like once I know enough, I'm going to blaze. I'm getting them people up out of there. And then you think about it, you sit back, like I don't want I would have said was like, damn, how long was you in that church? And now you think you know something. And you finna go up in there and do what? Come on, man, humble yourself. Right. You ain't been in this thing but a year, 2 years, 3 years. Come on, man. You ain't grow up in this. You did as much sin, if not more, than those people. So that's what I said. Man, you got to really humble yourself in this truth. Don't get puffed up. Don't get puffed up just because you are holy people unto the Most High. You ain't acting holy.
Right.
Puffed up. You see what I'm saying?
And I'm happy you said that, because that drives the entire point of why I brought that out. That was the only reason. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Barakatah, the water, Xavier McLeod, for the generous donation. But and if I missed anybody else, the water. But hey, man, that was the reason I went to Isaiah chapter 2. Because what is the ultimate goal of us being the greatest people? You know what I'm saying? Yes, the Most High blessed us in certain ways that they can't deal with us on certain levels. Right. When it comes to music, they can't deal with us. When it comes to basketball, football, athletics in general, inventing things, beautiful. But that's not why we the top people.
Vanity.
Right. That's just another way for you to become prideful.
Yeah.
So then we take it, then we come into the truth and we say, our music is better than y'all's, which it is, but you bringing a prideful spirit to it and you tainting something that could have potentially been beautiful to the Most High.
Right.
Nah, hold tight.
Even the point, like, you making so many good points. You know, we can boast and all that about Black Wall Street. We know that's good. But look what happened when we built our community without the Most High. It was big and glorious, but it was destroyed.
That's right. Man.
You see what I'm saying? Now imagine if we built that with the Most High. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's imagine how proudful we was in that state. We employing one another. We got a bowling alley, a movie theater, a doctor, office. Imagine all that. Imagine how much pride we was having, you know, not knowing the doctrine, not knowing the Most High, that really blessed us with all that. Not thanking him enough for even having a Black Wall Street. He came through and allowed our enemies to do what they was made to do, which was destroy us.
Right.
You know, for us going off. See what I'm saying? And I was going to let me prove that. Jude 5 and 21, I believe it is. I think it's Jude 5 and 21. Let me see. Judith, can I bring that up?
Yeah, Con.
Judith 5 and 17. And while they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because of the God that hateth iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by enemies. It's like by the enemies. But now they return to their God, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Going back to the place dealing with the mountain and the hill. Once we get back up to the hill or that mountain, we're going to now be that top nation once again, because we're not going to be sinning anymore.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And we've been removed from that mountain because of our sin. We're not able to teach the nations our law, our commandments that was righteous, that was given by the Most High to govern the whole earth. Because we can't even gather ourselves together and govern ourselves.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because going back to the point, we have too much pride.
That's right.
Too much pride to come together with one another, and actually that the head is already appointed. It's Hamashiach Yahushua or Jesus Christ, whatever you want to call him. The head is already appointed. All the people got to do is follow in the vineyard, keep the commandments, and bear that good fruit. That's all we got to do.
That's right.
I got a preset that I'm gonna let me back off of what Ak was just saying. Speaking about, Black Wall Street, they came and they built up, this wonderful town of our people, hospitals, you name it. They had banks, grocery stores, all that. And then what happened? It got destroyed. So this is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 4, saying, no man that worth entangled himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. And if a man also strive for masteries, yet he is not crowned except he strive lawfully. Right? So it all comes back to, keeping these laws, keeping these commandments, making sure that we got the Most High in everything that we're doing. Because it don't matter if we're building up cities, it don't matter if we got our own community, right? If we don't got the Most High, and it don't mean nothing.
That's
right?
right.
He's not going to be there to fight for us. He's not going to be there to keep us, right? We have to have the Most High in everything. So that's what sets this apart from all of the other movements that were initiated, right? When you saw back in the 60s, the whole civil rights movement, right, came to naught. You go back to Marcus Garvey, nothing happened, right? You go to the whole Black Panther movement, right? Nothing was able to happen from that, right? Because we were trying to build it without the Most High involved. We were still going off. We were still breaking the laws, right? So what do we got right this time? Now we're coming underneath the Most High. Now we're coming underneath and say, hey, we got to keep these laws. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it, right? When these people come and they say, oh, you don't have to do it, it's done away with. I was just listening to some Christians talk the other day, talking about how hard it was to keep the law, and how listening to people, what do they call it? They call it legalism, right? Oh, legalism, that's too hard, right? That and this one dude had the really the audacity to say, that keeping the law was a bad thing, right? When it says in the scripture that the law is holy and just and good, right? How can you say or even form your lips to say that trying to keep the law is a bad thing? Right? So we've got to come back underneath this.
That's right.
Because his burden is light. His yoke is light.
Hey, that's right, man. That's beautiful. That's right. Because they try to make it seem like it's an unbearable load, And that's the last thing. The last precept I'm going to pull from this and on this lesson, and we're going to open it up for questions. Amos 9 and 11. All right. The book of Amos, chapter 9 and verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. Now, why is he doing this? Verse 12. That they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord that doeth this. Verse 13. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper and the treader of grapes, him that soweth seed. And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and the hills shall melt. And I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel, and they will build the waste cities and inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled out of their land, which I have given them, saith Yahweh our power. So that's what I got on that lesson, man. I hope y'all got some good keys out of that you can go back and just meditate on. And hey, all praises to the Most High, man.
God, all praises to the Most High.
All right. Hey, so look, if we got any questions concerning any of the topics or any of the things we went through, we can open it up for those now. If you want to ask a question, what you want to do is you want to get out the YouTube chat and come on the call and ask the question.
Hey, can I make a point while we waiting on the questions?
All right, you're good. Go ahead.
Hey, it's funny how when you read 11, the next verse immediately lists this Edom by name, and then it says all the heathen. Because what has Edom been doing really since, the times of the Romans and Grecians, man? Mm-hmm. They've been just causing havoc on the earth. So they got to be possessed. And right. We know anything when it came to dealing with David, what David was on, man. David was hard about it. He wasn't playing no games. So the Most High going to rebuild those type of men to overtake these other nations. First started with Edom.
Right.
Just look at what they've been doing for the last 1,000 years, man.
That's
It's
right,
been
man.
hell, especially on the Israelites, man. Especially on the Israelites.
That's right, man. Hey, I was reading something the other day. The nerve of these people, man. The nerve of these people. But they found so now you know, so-called Jewish people, they going through and finding people on, you know, they doing studies and finding people who are actually Israelites. And they're forcing them to convert to their religion. And if they don't convert to their religion, they won't even recognize them as Jews.
Right.
Now, think about this, man. Think about the madness of this. You come and find somebody who, through your research, you say that you believe in the Most High. You find somebody through your research that proves that that person is an Israelite. This people group is an Israelite. Go. And what you choose to do is say, we're not going to accept you unless you change and do what we say you're going to do. Think about how wicked that is, man. And so now, on the flip side of that, we got to make sure we're not doing that. We got to make sure we don't see a brother with fringes on and refuse to salute him because his shirt don't look like mine. See, we got a high responsibility, man. That's the thing about it. Like the brother said, it's not too great of a burden to bear for you just to love your brothers. Anybody who the Most High put his name on, you should love that person. You know, if they call Yasha Allah, you should love them. And that's the end of it. So it don't look like we're gonna have no questions on the lesson. We can open up for general questions. Yeah, there you go. That's right. Ain't never got love for Esau, man.
That's right.
That deserved to be put on the screen.
Who that? Otherwise, right?
Right.
You know he gonna post that.
That's right.
God.
All right. Well, we ain't got no questions. So, hey, once again, man, it was beautiful. I appreciate y'all having me, man, and just you know, y'all continue to stay in the spirit. We're gonna get off the live, and on the call, we're gonna do the prayer. Okay, so if y'all want to join the prayer, feel free. We'll be doing it on the call in about 5 minutes or so. All right. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Barakatham, Shalom.
Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Barakatham, Shalom.
Hey, Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.